You're watching TVC Breakfast. Nigerian youth must shun all forms of behavioral tendencies that will bring disrepute both to self and country.
The advice was given at a mentorship program for millennials in Lagos to equip them with skills for scaling life's challenges. Details in this report. Nigeria's youth population has witnessed significant growth in the past decade. The reason young persons now account for a significant part of the population. But with an economy that has sunk into recession twice in the past 4 years, youth unemployment has become even more pronounced. This conference is an avenue to help them meet minds and keep pace with strategies to succeed in light of present realities.
Not everything that comes from the Western society is perfect and amazing. Unfortunately, we tend to perceive things that are coming from the West as that's what we need to be doing, but maybe that's not what we need to do. There's some amazing things that come from the West, but our culture also has so much to offer, not just to Nigeria, but to the world.
Western values have almost, taken over our own cultures and traditions through television, social media, and globalization. So we need to return to our cultures and our traditions.
To guide these youths and tell them these are the kind of things that you should do. And you can't expect to be successful or to soar if you spend your time doing so instead of so.
Speakers have charged the youth to realize that they are leaders of today and not tomorrow.
Youth should have more conversations. It's great for us to be able to come together and have these conversations and have people come and talk to us about how we can move forward. That's
just leaders have a lot of things to play and build in the future of the society, particularly the youth. Number one, mentorship. Mentoring the youth with the right values. Get rich quick thinking must be discounted.
There should be programs to give orientation to young ones, to properly, guide them about growing up and inculcating the correct values and virtues of life. So it's something that should happen quite regularly.
As a means of changing the narrative, the thought leaders also want them to participate actively in community services.
Well, joining us now is CEO, Big and Bold Communications, Jide Adeyemi. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
My pleasure. Good morning.
Good morning. Now, talk to us about how important mentorship or mentoring is for the youth. We see youth these days engage in different vices, and this get-rich-quick mentality or syndrome. How does mentoring change all of those?
Thank you very much. It is important that we provide guidance for the younger ones. The youth need to see where the proper direction in life is, and if there's nobody doing that, then it becomes a challenge. One of my challenge with our educational system is the fact that we are teaching people to pass through schools and pass exam and all that. We're not providing mentorship. We're not providing the right values. We're not providing the right guidelines. So we need to begin to think of, okay, how do we begin to instill the right values into people? How do we begin to help them go through life? There's a whole lot that is happening around us.
What kind of values can the school provide that you're talking about?
Okay, when we're growing up, we do social studies, you remember, and then we talk about moral values and what have you. So beyond just teaching mathematics and what have you, we need to begin to talk about what makes an active citizen. What is that thing that makes you a good person? What is that thing that helps you build yourself in life? And our youth are distracted these days. There's social media, there's a whole lot of things going on. People, of course, grew up with poverty and then they want to get out of it. And they have at the back of their mind, this is what I see on TV and this is what could help me. But they are wrong. So we need people to begin to pick up your niece, to pick up your nephew, and then help them, guide them through life. Show them what is the right thing to do. As a matter of fact, our youth are learning things that probably will not even help them. The world is going into artificial intelligence. We are talking big data. You know, we're discussing robotics and what have you. And we are still doing something else around here. So that is part of the things that we need to do. Mentorship will then help us to build people who have the capacity to face global challenges.
Okay, so I will just give you some examples. Now, there's someone called Bobrisky. In the US, it was a case study, and he was being studied. So, same with some other known faces. Now we're in the age of social media, and we see that a lot of youth, like you said, are involved in social media. They're involved in all sorts on social media. Is there a way our educational system can inculcate the changes we see now? Because this is what these youths are after. How can we inculcate them such that we have a good moral values and teach them moral values via all of these packages we have?
First and foremost, we need to start with the family. One of the things I've seen is that a lot of us, we have contracted our building of our children to the school. And
because they spend a lot of time
they spend a lot of time in school. You know, you still remember the phrase, remember the son of who you are.
Yeah.
We don't hear that any longer. So those are things that we need to begin to do from the home. And then we have our cultural values. There's a cultural value that says this XYZ is wrong and this is right, regardless of what you see abroad, regardless of what you watch on TV or what you see or what you hear on radio. We still have our own cultural value. So the school needs to help, the media needs to help, family system needs to help, the religious society needs to help.
When we talk about mentoring, what are we really looking at? Because some would say mentoring, others you hear words like coaching. What really are we talking about when we say mentoring?
Mentoring and coaching are just, what's it called, different taglines or whatever it is. Of course, mentoring and coaching also differs. Mentoring is the act of leading people. Coaching is helping people find a way of doing things right. But whichever way we look at it, the whole essence is to create a better person in the protege or the mentee, as you say. The whole essence is to provide guidance. The whole essence is also to provide a developmental opportunity that help these people to then become a better person.
Okay, so what should youths look for in someone becoming a mentor to them?
That's a very good question. One of the things you need to look out for is that, so who is that person that has gone the way I want to go in life? So I want to do broadcasting. So who is that broadcaster who become a role model for me? And that is one of the most important things we have to look for in terms of mentorship. A lot of time, young people are looking at who is the successful person in what I do. Success, of course, is relative. So who is that person who had gone ahead in life? And who is that person that can teach me, who has the time to also...
Shouldn't a mentor be successful?
Of course, a mentor needs to be successful in whatever they are doing in their chosen field. But when I'm talking about us looking at mentors being successful, people are looking at, okay, this person has to be rich in terms of financial capacity, which is not necessarily what exactly it is. Of course, we've seen people who are doing well financially, and then we hear the story of what the source of their wealth is. So it's important to look at someone who is dedicated, committed in their profession, and of course has become a success, and not necessarily looking at the fact that what their financial worth is.
So how has this been for you? You are in this line of business, so to speak. What is the level of, how have Nigerians embraced this issue of mentoring? Because some would say this is quite alien to us.
Well, it's not alien to us. It's not alien because our forefathers, they have large expanse of land, farm, and of course they have 5 children, and they divide the farm accordingly to them. So this is what you have to do, and you see what it is. There's been mentoring in different fields. Artisans does mentoring. So when you take your little girl to a fashion outfit and tell the person, it is still mentoring. But of course, we like to formalize everything and we want to create a structure that is Western. That is where the challenges is. So my mom sells, and I hawk on the street of Itire going up. It was mentoring that led me into how to become an entrepreneur. And what the basic thing is when my mom tells you that, oh, I buy this basket of tomato at 20 naira. I'm selling it at 27 naira. The reason is because I've added this and this, and I need to make profit. It is mentoring.
So it means that the family, the first point of call for any youth that needs a mentor is the family.
It is the family. I say that because you build value from the family. So when you train your children, then when they get to school, they also pick it. So, but not necessarily that you have to. So mentorship is not until you come to the four walls of a university or a structured program. So important thing is, oh, I have a niece who wants to go into broadcasting. I bring the person here, maybe just to watch you and then ask questions thereafter. One of the mistakes we also make is that some people take mentorship to be sponsorship. It is not sponsorship. You are looking for that uncle, you are looking for that aunt who can be your mentor and then able to support you financially. No, it is that person who is able to provide you with the resources that you need
now,
to grow.
in all of this, one aspect is the issue of trust. And you know, our society these days, there is the challenge of trust. You're laughing because you know how it is when we talk about trust. So how does this complicate or enhance mentorship?
Let me talk about the positive side, which is the enhancement. So when you trust the mentor, and of course the mentor also trusts the mentee, it gives room for you to have an open mind. It gives you room for you to be free with the person. The flip side is when the mentor, for any reason, try to take advantage of the mentee, then trust is lost. Of course, we know the story that is ongoing. It's a case of I could trust my lecturer to go and then ask probing questions, seek for direction, ask for guideline when exam is coming. But then when the mentor then
Turns around
and then begin to do what you and I know. So trust is lost. And when trust is lost, even the willingness to learn then
It's lost.
become lost.
Jide Adeyemi, thank you for your time on
My
TVC
pleasure.
Breakfast.